This House will come back to order. House will come back to order. Mr. Clerk, you want to ring the bell? All right, House will come back to order. Clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions. Clerk will read.
Honoring the life and memory of John Franklin Porter. Honoring the life and memory of John Allen McPhail. Honoring the life and memory of Edward Harold Stone. Recognizing the Association of Georgia General Aviation Airports as an industry association for the general aviation airports in the state of Georgia and its corporate affiliates. Recognizing and commending the 2021-2022 Social Circle Boys Varsity Basketball Team on an outstanding season. reaffirming friendship and cooperation between the Federal Republic of Germany and the state of Georgia, commending Morgan Kennedy, Miss Cobb County's Outstanding Team 2022, recognizing the Eta Sigma chapter of the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, recognizing and commending the Eden Missionary Baptist Church on the occasion of its 150th anniversary, recognizing and celebrating March 25th, 2022 as the 201st anniversary of Greek Independence Day, recognizing and commending the American Hellenistic Educational Progressive Association on the occasion of its 100th birthday, recognizing and commending David Panton, recognizing September 2022 as African Immigrant Heritage Month, recognizing and commending Dr. Willie Housel, commending Dominique Woodard, Banneker High School's Teacher of the Year, recognizing March 22nd as World Water Day and commending Ryan Beltrain, recognizing March 24, 2022 as HPV Cancer Awareness Day in Georgia, honoring the 62nd anniversary of the mass sit-in organized by the Atlanta Student Movement in March 15, 1960, recognizing Miller County Liberal on the occasion of its 125th anniversary and commending its current owner, George Terry Toole, congratulating and commending Billy W. Rowland, and for other purposes. That completes the reading of the privilege resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privilege resolutions? Chair hears none, and the resolutions are adopted. We're going back to the rules calendar. We're going back to the rules calendar. Clerk will read the caption to House Bill 1041.
House Bill 1041 by Representative Perkle of the 155th and others to be entitled an act to amend Code Section 48.729.2 of the official code of Georgia Annotated relating to tax credits for contributions to rural hospital organizations so as to increase the aggregate limit for tax credits. This bill having referred to the Committee on Ways and Means, that committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Chairman Perkle to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, a measure that we passed a few years ago that has absolutely provided the ability for some rural hospitals to stay open is the bill that we're looking at today. HB 1041 raises the rural hospital tax credit from 60 to 75 million and makes the effective date for this change January 1, 2023. That's the bill, Mr. Speaker. I ask for a green vote.
Chair recognizes Chairman Setzler to speak to the bill.
Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I want to speak in support of this bill, and it's a good proposition. It allows our rural hospitals to get resources from their communities. I would say, though, this body acted very boldly last year on House Bill 290 that recognized the patient's fundamental right to have someone at bedside to help advocate for them and make decisions. I think consistent with our strong support of rural hospitals, nonprofit and for-profit hospitals around the country, or around the state rather, we cannot take our eye off the ball. That this last year, since we've debated and passed this proposition HB 290 from this House, it has continued. It has continued that the ability for a family member to stand at bedside, understand what's happening to their family member, and advocate for them pursuant to their rights under federal law. CMMS regulation continues to be an issue in the state. And as we pass this bill, and I urge your support of this bill, we need to double down and restate our efforts and our desire as a House of Representatives, as a Senate, and with the executive branch, that patients have a fundamental right to have an advocate at their bedside to advocate for them, and that we have not forgotten, and we're urging ultimate support of HB 290 before the end of this biennium. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield the will.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Representative Mallow rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, is it not true that the best credit we could give to a rural hospital in rural Georgia is to expand Medicaid in this state?
I think that's probably up for debate, Representative, but I know you're sincere in believing that. What purpose does Representative McLaurin rise?
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it not true that just like two of the last speakers, I'm also running for state senate, so I just wanted to chime in too?
Is that primary tomorrow? Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines on the passage of House Bill 1041. The ayes are 164, the nays are 1. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to House Bill 1291.
House Bill 1291 by Representative Smith of the 133rd to be entitled An Act to Amend Code Section 4883 of the Official Code of Georgia Antietam relating to exemptions from sales and use taxes so as to revise the spending threshold and extend the sunset dates for sales tax exemption for the sale or lease of computer equipment. This bill having referred to the Committee on Ways and Means, that committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Chairman Vance, or Representative Vance Smith, to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, bring to you House Bill 1291. This is a continuation of an exemption that we've had for years on the books. Some of the high-tech companies that come in and we've redefined the definition of high-tech. It's the hardware that's being used. It's not the software that's there. And we'd like to still stay competitive with our other states. It's still got a $15 million threshold, and we'd ask to extend that sunset to 2028. Anybody has any questions, be glad to answer them. If not, I certainly appreciate your vote. Thank you.
What purpose does, do you have a question, Representative or Chairman Carpenter?
Yes.
Do you yield for a question? Representative, you yield for a question?
Yes, sir.
Chair recognizes Chairman Carpenter to your right for a question.
Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Is it not true that this bill also includes a 10% payback that we haven't seen on this issue in the past?
It will. 10% of the first $15 million. They have to spend $15 million per year, so it will be 10% of that will be taxed, come back to the taxpayer.
I appreciate you adding that in. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll yield the will and ask for your favorable consideration.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so,